the dry period.
That'll be a long journey, like.
5 years ago to the month, Blizzard released Overwatch. It was hailed as a redemption story after the struggles of Titan. Keller, that's of course the new director of Overwatch, who worked on both Titan and Overwatch, remembers the elevating feeling from the team as the company celebrated the game's success. You almost feel like you're really not broken anymore in a certain sense, he says, laughing. It's always amazing to ship a project that people love, but to do it right after Titan made it even more special. Titan, from what I understand, was basically fucking grueling.
Yeah, they would.
It was essentially a total omni-shambles, full of great ideas, but just not going together. Who knows? Maybe someday there'll be more I'll be able to say on that one. It's interesting with Titan. Blizzard collectively exhaled when Overwatch was released. It was a badly needed win after a period in which major releases including D3, Star 2, and Heroes of the Storm all struggled to one degree or another between 2012 and 2016. After struggling so hard for so long to figure out what was next after World of Warcraft, Blizzard seemed to have an answer. Well, that didn't go that well, did it? Overwatch kind of fizzled. One source...
Explosive launch, but...
Oh dear. One source described what follows as, quote, a little renaissance, with Overwatch becoming the company's fastest game to reach 25 million registered players, and Hearthstone defining a $1 billion game category virtually overnight. Blizzard reportedly doubled its number of internal teams from 6 to around 13, while building up an incubation initiative intended to experiment with new game concepts. Overwatch League was founded in 2017 and kicked off its inaugural season in 2018. New initiatives were spinning up left and right, a source says, with money seemingly no object. By game industry standards, Blizzard has always led a charmed existence. Its history has encompassed a string of genre-defining hits beginning with Warcraft, Orcs and Humans, and continuing on through Diablo, StarCraft, and WoW. Its success created a unique culture in which employees would routinely stay for years or decades, a rarity in the fast-moving, unpredictable games industry. In 2016 documentary, veteran developer Chris Metzen, fresh off the launch of Overwatch, articulated Blizzard's worldview. What are we really doing? Are we just selling product for a corporation? I guess that's part of it, but we're artists and craftsmen and technologists and writers and poets, and all these things coming together to build something greater than any of us could have achieved on our own. That's always been the story of Blizzard. What are we prepared to spend the next 5 years of our lives on together? This strong sense of pride informs a lot of the culture at Blizzard. Yeah. Hey, you know the way they made the Shav Pride be like a villain and everything?
Yep.
And, maybe that was for a good reason.
Yep.
But to continue. So there was a big pride at Blizzard, and its development teams had tended to be tight-knit and very stable over the years. Many of its employees are also fans. World of Warcraft director Ian Hazzikostas was a self-described World of Warcraft guild leader who ran a community site and corresponded with Blizzard developers. Diablo Immortal director Wyatt Chang grew up playing Lost Vikings and tells IGN he applied to Blizzard 4 times in 6 years before finally being accepted to Blizzard North. That was, of course, the original Diablo developer. Its history gives it a pull equaled by few other companies. This is a quote from Ian. "It was a dream come true when I was able to walk through the gates of Blizzard and turn my hobby into a career, into a vocation. It can indeed be a very fun place to work. For holiday parties, Blizzard will rent out Disney California Adventure for an evening for its employees. That sounds great. Walk around the campus, and there are reminders everywhere of Blizzard's history, from statues of its characters, commemorative swords and shields issued to employees that spend time at the company. When things are going well, working on a Blizzard game can be both challenging and satisfying, with developers constantly pushing one another to meet the company's high bar of quality. Blizzard veterans in particular are very protective of this culture." Red flag. Red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag. If it's an old boys club, you're going to have a rough time. From what I understand,
Yes.
Blizzard is quite hierarchical, and people with long tenure have a lot of pull. Obviously, experience is important, but you can't, you have to base stuff off the believability of somebody's decision makings, not just seniority, because seniority does not always correlate, and especially whenever the landscape around you is shifting and changing, seniority will mean less and less and less. What will matter more is being basically closer to the ground.
Yep.
So that's worth keeping in mind here. It has done its share to keep Blizzard employees rooted in place for years, making it a comparative bastion of stability in the often turbulent games industry. But events in recent years have eroded the culture, pushing many in Blizz to look for jobs elsewhere. By 2018, the little renaissance was giving way to the growing understanding that Blizzard was a long way from releasing any new games. Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 weren't ready to be announced, and the incubation initiative had yet to bear any fruit. It was this realization that sent Blizzard scrambling when it came time to make its customary round of announcements at Blizzcon 2018. It cobbled together a slate featuring Warcraft 3 Reforged and updates to its established games, and it was left to Cheng to lead BlizzCon with Diablo Immortal, a mobile game that famously prompted one fan to ask, is that a joke? You know what? I hope Wyatt got a big friggin' pity bonus for being the poor motherfucker who was just sent out there by the corporation
Sent out
just
to
to
die,
be
like.
riddled. Friggin' riddled with gamer bullets.
I mean, props that he sort of stuck there, still going for it, like, because that would have broke most people, I think, like.
Yeah. There's a little
Suspicious.
sidebar here about just Diablo stuff. I don't think we really need to cover
Yeah,
that.
I'm looking.
But TLDR, it was just Wyatt basically being like, yeah, hindsight's 2020.
Yes.
Look, I was always like, what are you doing? But I never had any negative things to say about Wyatt himself.
Yeah,
like,
of course not.
He's just a dev doing his job, and he was put up there in an impossible ass situation.
And they might get his sort of comeuppance because Immortal's been received a little bit better across the board now that,
Immortal's probably going to be great, being realistic. I mean, it'll be a mobile ARPG, but as far as those go, I imagine it'll be one of the best.
Yep.